All right, guys, well, I'm back today with a couple of CVLIFE LPVOs. Both of these are high-value options on a budget, and both of them come with mounts, flip-up lens covers for under $150. On top of that, a lot of discounts are available in the description below, as well as on the links in the description below if you want to save more money, specifically provided for my channel. Now, CVLIFE did send both of these optics out to the channel for independent reviews, and if you want detailed evaluations of each of these optics independently, you can check out my channel for more footage of these. If you want a comparison video, this is the video for you. Once I released both of the full reviews, I got a lot of questions about comparing the optics side by side since they're so similar and the price points are very similar. Starting off, I want to discuss the prices of these, but before we do, I want to give a huge shout out to Callaway Ballistics for being the ammo sponsor for this particular video. They provided a lot of the 223 that went through both of these optics to allow them to just get the full testing they need. I also have a code 704TACTICAL for 5% off and free shipping on Callaway Ballistics orders over $200. Definitely check these guys out. The first one we are looking at is the CVLIFE 1-6 EagleFeather. Now, this was the original one I reviewed on the channel and have the most rounds through. The next optic we are looking at is actually the CVLIFE EagleTalon, and this is the newest release in the LPVO series, and this is also a 1-6, both with 30mm tubes. We're going to go between the comparisons after we discuss the price. Now, the brand new CVLIFE EagleTalon is a little bit more than the other. This one comes in at $149, but right now they've got coupon codes to knock it down to about $120, give or take $5 to $10, depending on the discounts available when you're watching this video. The other optic, the EagleFeather, generally sells for $130, but again, with certain discounts applied, you can easily get this for about the same price, $120, give or take $10. Now, occasionally, with maybe some crazy sales, you can even get them closer to $100, but I haven't seen that yet, but you never know what happens during the holiday season, so the best thing to do is check those links in the description below, as well as all the discounts available, to see what you can actually get these for. So for all intents and purposes, we're going to say that these are about the same price, and the price difference is negligible for this particular review. So they both come with the mounts inside the box. They also lock up about the same way with that rail system on the bottom. You have those anti-slip bolts that go through, and this one actually has anti-slip tabs. This one uses an Allen key, and this one uses just a standard wrench. So there's really, I don't know. This one looks a little bit cooler. It's a little bit more versatile when it comes to that. But this mount itself actually has really solid lockup on the rail system. This one does too, but this has 4 of the anti-slide tabs. So the mounts are kind of a wash. Both are great. Both have absolutely held zero, and nothing has walked loose. So there's really nothing to distinguish between the two mounts. It's more of a preference, which you would rather have. And the cool thing is these are 30mm tubes, so you can swap out the mounts with whatever mounts you want. And I also have a ton of high value and budget reviews on mounts on the channel, so definitely subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell. I've also been seeing people get unsubscribed recently as much as 3 times in the month of November for some reason. So definitely check that subscription and notification bell. Back to the optics. Now, the flip-up lens covers are, again, about the same quality. The CVLIFE EagleFeather, the original one we reviewed out on the channel, they have see-through lens covers. I like that a little bit better. That would be a cool addition to every lens cover, in my opinion. That way, if you don't have time to flip them up, you can still engage your target pretty quickly. Moving along to the profile and shape of the optic. Almost identical. The throw levers themselves and the zoom knobs are both fairly smooth on both models. Now, both of them will continue to feature an enhanced throw lever that threads out and in. Now, this CVLIFE model doesn't have it, but future versions that you purchase at the time of watching this video will have it. So that's a new update that they've included. And really, one of the complaints about this optic that I had, it was actually a very nice throw lever, but it's always nice to include that. So now they do. So there's really no difference between those two. Let's move to the turrets themselves, and we'll talk about those. The illumination knob is located on the side on both of these optics, and we will talk about the illumination brightness in the reticle setting, or the reticle portion of this review. Now, the turrets have a clear winner. The turrets on the CVLIFE EagleTalon, these are going to be a little bit better because these are locking turrets. So what you do is you'll pull those up, put them, adjust them, and then lock them back down. So those are just nice turrets. Now, don't get me wrong. This guy also has really nice turrets, but they're capped. I would say the clicks are a little bit more crisp and the detents are a little bit better in those turrets. But again, these are more of a set it and forget it style turret where you actually can adjust up, down, left, and right. And that also comes in handy when we are discussing the reticle selection. So let's talk about those as well as the illumination. Now, the reticles on both of these are actually very good reticles. Some of my favorite in the high value and budget category. The EagleTalon, which you see here, and as you see in the intro of the video, has kind of a duplex style reticle system with large leader lines going into very fine lines with a center illuminated dot and a bullet drop compensation reticle specifically set up for 223.556 or 308.762, which is pretty cool if you want bullet drop compensation. This one has more of a circle dot reticle system with a chevron kind of embedded in. And it's a more interesting design when it comes to the reticle itself, but I don't know if it's as practical as actual bullet drop compensation. But when we are talking about a bright sunny day down at the range, both of the illuminations on these are not bright enough to actually use during a bright sunny day. The illumination for both of these are more for twilight, dust shooting, or inside the home personal defense shooting. One thing to note about both of the illuminations is the fact that this guy right here, the EagleFeather, gets much brighter than this. There's just more to illuminate and it does a better job. So if illumination was key for you, this is definitely the winner there. But this illuminates good for, again, twilight shooting, dusk shooting, hunting applications at early dawn, or even inside the home. But even inside the home, this is going to be a lot better with that brightness. Also, when we're talking about picking up the reticle at the 1 power setting, the actual EagleFeather is a little bit easier to pick up the reticle quickly at the 1 power setting for CQB applications because it's a lot larger. But this is a much better distance reticle because there's a bullet drop compensation built in. It's a little bit finer of a reticle system, so you can dial in your shots a little bit easier. Then you can also adjust your windage and elevation and combine that with the bullet drop compensation reticle. And this is a much more usable optic at distance. So in my opinion, when it comes to the reticle selection and illumination, this is going to be great for more of the 1 power setting CQB applications close up. And this is going to really shine at distance shooting, 100 yards and out, but also is perfectly adequate at CQB. They're just going to shine differently at different levels of the magnification. Now let's talk about glass clarity, eye box, and eye relief because that's a big deal. And this was actually one of the first 1 to 6s for the price that I have fallen in love with, that eye box, eye relief, and glass clarity. And I still really like it. The eye box and eye relief is how far away you are from the optic, up, down, left, and right, without the reticle system blacking out. Both of these have very good eye box and eye relief, and I have no complaints about either of them, and it's kind of a tie between the two. Now comes glass clarity and just the perception of looking down the optics themselves, and hands down, the actual new optic itself, the EagleTalon, this guy right here, is going to be the better option when it comes to just glass clarity and understanding how it looks down the optic. When you look down the optic, you get a very clear and crisp image. The edge clarity is halfway decent, especially for an optic of this price. It's really competing with $200 and $300 optics when it comes to edge clarity. Again, the eye box and eye relief is great, but when you're looking down this, you just get a nice field of view and you get a very good perspective. You don't have a ton of tunnel vision. Whereas on the CVLIFE EagleFeather, you're going to get a little bit more of what I would call a tunnel vision feel. You actually see the glass itself, and it's a very good field of view as well. But around it, you'll get kind of a black ring. And that's kind of your eye picking up the tube and how the optics are. Now, again, not that big of a deal. It's absolutely great. It's not really that big of a complaint, but when we are talking about the perception of looking down the optics themselves, it seems like the optics have improved, which makes sense because this is the newer release. It's just better technology as the lenses stack up inside, which is also great, again, lending towards better distance shooting applications. I never really noticed the tunnel vision effect until I put it head to head directly beside this one. So, in summary, Both are great, and both I still recommend. It was incredibly beneficial to start comparing optics like this because CV Life is producing a lot of LPVOs, a lot of high-value red dots, and you guys really want to know what you're getting. In summary, if you were looking to take your AR out shooting more than 100 yards fairly often, I would recommend the brand new EagleTalon. This is a great opportunity to take your AR out to a little bit more extended ranges. If you are primarily going to be shooting your LPVO, and I meant to say LPVO, if you're primarily going to be shooting your LPVO close up, maybe from 10 to 100 yards fairly often, I think this is still the better bet. But if you plan on shooting a little bit further, it's capable as well. So I hope you guys liked the video. I hope it gives you a few different positives and negatives about both of these optics to help better understand what is on the market right now, especially when it comes to high value and budget LPVOs. If you guys have any suggestions, comments, or even questions about these optics, leave them in the comment section below. Definitely hit that thumbs up, kind of leave some comments in there. Make sure this one takes off in the algorithm. I really want people to see a lot of these comparison videos because I get a lot of questions on my Instagram page, Facebook page, and other places. So I'd really like to get this video out there so you guys can find some high value and budget products. Thanks for watching, guys, and thanks to CV Life for sending both of these out to the channel for us to take a look at. Have a good one.